This is the Transformers Generations Studio Series number 51 from Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Soundwave. It's probably the one I was looking forward to the most in this particular wave of Deluxe Class figures. I picked up this figure at Hobby Corner. Let's get him out of packaging. And here is Soundwave out of packaging, and boy, do I love this figure. I love everything about it. It actually turned out really, really nicely. Great paint apps. I love the sculpt. It comes with this soft PVC material laser beak. Doesn't do anything. It's just a basic accessory that you can plug onto his arm. You can hold it. Okay, that's it. He is missing a gun. I mean, would have been nice if they had put a gun on him, like a blaster or whatever, but they put laser beaks, so okay. Not terrible. It's not horrible, but going back to the figure, look at this sculpt. The proportions are much better on him. He's not top heavy like the Human Alliance figure. He's not too skinny like the original Deluxe Class figure, which both figures right now are going for astronomical, really ridiculous astronomical prices on the secondary market because they are impossible to find on retail. But this one, I love how Hasbro and Takara Tomy have done it. It's got a little bit of back cable, but that's nice because it covers up a little bit of the hollow spaces on the back. You can see a lot more of the silver and gray mixing in. Gray pieces are made of these soft PVC material, much like the head. Look at that head sculpt. Wow. Oh, Soundwave. Superior, Autobots, inferior. No, that's not actually how he sounded. So, pretty cool. Got the Mercedes-Benz logo right there on his chest. And laser beak. Really not the best laser beak. I wish they could have just done an actual transforming laser beak, but no, I don't know. Okay. Pretty neat. Articulation for the figures. Got a ball jointed neck that is on a little bit of a hinge. It's got a swivel shoulder. It also goes in and out. Bicep swivel. Hinge elbows. Wrists kind of moves in and out because of transformation. No waist or torso articulation. It's got a ball jointed hip. Thigh swivel, but severely hindered by a bunch of kibble. Hinge knees. Pretty neat. Can also bend a little bit forward like that. And that's about it. The foot or the toes don't actually move because they're pegged in. So yeah, articulation-wise, posability can be a little bit challenging and frustrating because of the amount of kibble on him, but you don't really need to pose Soundwave too much. I mean, he's the communications specialist for the Decepticons, so you can just get him in just normal standing poses, and he'd still look very, very imposing. Very nice. I'm actually very, very pleased with him. The figure comes with this really nice diorama, which will look very familiar because it's the smaller scaled version of the one we got from Dark of the Moon Leader Class Megatron, as well as a nice little instruction sheet. And for size comparison, here he is with his Master Lord Megatron, also from Dark of the Moon. Kind of looks small compared to him, but I don't know. I'm having some trouble recalling, but I would have wanted Soundwave, to be right here, just under the chest or torso of Megatron. Instead, he's up to the waist. But, Hasbro and Takara Tomy, they always get their scale right? So who am I to argue? I guess this is how Hasbro wants it to be. So I guess that's the perfect scale for Soundwave and Megatron. And Bumblebee, right here. This is from the Transformers the movie Bumblebee. Head to toe, they're almost the same height, but from the top of the head to his top of the head, Bumblebee's a little bit taller. So pretty nice. I love the scale. I love the sculpt. Details of the figure, absolutely fantastic. Oh my goodness. So let's transform Soundwave into his Mercedes-Benz alt mode. So put Laserbeak off to the side right there. Okay, first thing you want to do the feet. The instructions tell you just fold up the feet. No, you don't want to do that. You want to unpeg those feet. You're going to risk ruining that little teeny tiny peg if you do that. So just fold it up like that and like that. And then the the rest of the feet, you just fold it all the way up. And instructions tell you again to just fold it all the way up like that. But you got to make some room for those pegs right there, and just push that foot a little bit off to the side, and then slide that rear part of the car all the way up until that peg actually clears this part of the leg. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to join those 2 feet or leg parts together. Nice thick cylindrical peg. I love that. It's not those tiny ones that could easily break. So okay, make sure everything's square and sorted out. Okay, then what you want to do is the bonnet and the roof. Go ahead and untab that rear windshield, fold it up like that. And instructions say to just pop out the chest from the abdomen. Sure, you can do that, but it's not on a peg. It's actually on a friction clip or double pegs right there. So just be careful about that. Don't just force it in. And move that entire lower half of his body all the way up until the rear windshield and roof of the car. It doesn't actually tab in very tightly, but it'll stay there. Okay, so that's the rear of the car done. Okay, next thing you want to do is you want to do the arms. Okay, so what you want to do is fold out that inner panel, which is actually the window of the car. Fold the arms in like this and like this. Okay, then what you want to do, you want the speakers or the sound blasters facing you. Okay, that's what you want to do. Rotate it that way. And it's easy to intuit because you want to see these panels there, which the instructions say you want to close them up and form the side part of the car. So that's easy enough. So you see that, you want to tab that in, form that side of the car. Now what you want to do is untab the wheels, the pegs right there. Go ahead and untab them. It's easy, really not a thick or not a tight peg. What you want to do is you want to tab the arms off to the side of the car. The hinge is a little tight, so you're going to have to force it a little bit right there. Make sure it's nice and flush. Do the same on the other side, like that. Okay, and the car is taking shape. Very nice. Okay, and then what's left is this part, the front part of the car. Now this one, the side parts of his chest, they're going to form the headlamps and side of the bumper. They're on ball joints, so what you want to do is you want to rotate. Just rotate. It's kind of tricky because of the very, see, I unpegged it. There is a way to do it without really removing that ball joint peg. So just here, and then just rotate like that, and then tab in. Okay, do the same on the other side. It's a very, very small amount of clearance, but it is doable without really popping off that ball joint. Okay, and all that's left, probably the most difficult thing to do, is rotate that whole head assembly backwards because it's very tight right there. Go ahead and clear those horns. Okay, and then make sure you just fold it enough so that it comes nice and flat and flush on the bonnet. And then this one, the front part of the car, you just fold it up this way. Make sure it gets tabbed in. The head, make sure it nestles right there. And there you go. There is Soundwave in car mode. And again, very, very low clearance, but it does clear the floor. So much so that it rolls very, very nicely, freewheeling, pretty neat. Okay, and as for Laserbeak, you gotta fold the legs backward. It's that very thin peg right there. It's gonna peg in right here on top of the car. I mean, it's kind of silly. It does look a little bit silly, but that's just the way it is, okay? Nah, it really doesn't work. Okay, for size comparison, here's Junker Bumblebee. Pretty neat. Yep. Pretty cool. And so some final thoughts on this figure. Need I say more? It is an absolute must-have for any Studio Series collection, especially if you've had trouble tracking down the original Dark of the Moon Deluxe class Soundwave or the Human Alliance Soundwave. This is a very nice sort of substitute for those figures. Those figures are not take anything away from them. They're pretty awesome, but if you want a more perfectly scaled Soundwave together with your other Studio Series figures, at least for Dark of the Moon for your shelf, this is the figure to get. The figure is going to get a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I am absolutely pleased with it. The only thing that would have made it more perfect is maybe a blaster, and maybe if they made him a tad bit bigger in scale, just a little bit. Not asking for a lot. So, best of luck to everybody hunting this figure down. I bet this is the first figure to fly off the shelves for this wave of Deluxe Class Studio Series figures. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this new Soundwave Studio Series figure. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. This has been the Transformers Generations Studio Series number 51 from Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Soundwave. Thanks for watching.